Hey guys, welcome back and welcome back to Gene's Garden. This is another episode of Meet the Gardener, Meet the Farmer. This is episode 2 of coming back to Gene's Garden. We actually came here in the winter time and we did a fun video then. The garden changes every single time I'm here. And I've been here, we've had dinner at your house this summer, like what, 4 or 5 times at this point? Yeah. And every single time I'm like, it's different. There's something else going on. Before we get started, Gene did have
a new accessory added.
Yes. So we actually planned on coming here during springtime, but he had a horrific accident, and it's just been really challenging for you to garden this year, and we can kind of touch on that.
Almost impossible.
Yeah. He hasn't done anything. He's really had to rely on everybody else, which I know him, and he's just, you know how it is, right? When somebody else takes care of your garden. So anyways, we want to walk around today. You guys were so curious about specific plants in his garden, the design. So we pulled a lot of the questions that you guys had left in the original video, and we are going to go around today, talk about that. And there's some beautiful new features in this garden. I cannot wait to show you guys. So let's just jump right in. So this is the entrance to Gene's house, and it's always lovely. It's a shady area. We showed you guys this before, a lot of ginkgos and ferns. Do you remember the name of this?
Vancouver Centennial Geranium.
So I actually just saw these, and Sergey's always like pointing at them like, we need these in our garden. I don't know, it's just such a beautiful, welcoming area, and it hasn't changed much from last year.
No, it's the same.
It's the same. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about some of the new plants that you're really excited about and that I'm excited about. Paco's gonna be featured in the video as well. He is Gene's shadow.
So I love ferns. You know, my original garden was conifers and Japanese maples, and ferns blend in well with Japanese maples, of course. But this is a new fern for me. This is from Monrovia. It's a ribbon fern from China. And I just have to do hats off to Monrovia for their marketing, because they really know how to market a plant. And so they've labeled this plant Velociraptor after a dinosaur, and it's part of their Jurassic collection of ferns. They have a number of ferns that have a Jurassic name to them, but I just think this ribbon fern is so unusual and so different than a regular fern that we've got it here in the pot in the entry.
You have probably one of the rarest collections of plants that I've seen. So that does play into your design, right? You don't like when I told him I'm excited about my coral bark maple, he was like, why? Everybody has one.
I really seek new plants, or plants that are distinct and unusual, different than the typical plant that people purchase at Home Depot. And this is a plant that's very different and unusual. Most people, it doesn't even hardly look like a fern.
Right.
And so it's very interesting. But
yeah,
later in the talk, we're going to go see one of my rarest plants that I have. And it has an amazing story behind it. And so I love a plant that is different and unusual, but I love a plant that has a story with it as well.
Because you're a storyteller, so it helps
with
the
I
storytelling.
do like to tell plant stories.
You do, and you're really good at it. This is such a great plant, I think, for containers too. It's just so open and whimsical. That's a really great fern.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So in the space behind you, this is almost like a terrace garden, right? And one of the questions that people had just about this design here is, when you guys bought the house, it was kind of on this slope and you had to work with it.
Well, when we first moved here, the slope was actually worse, because the soil line came down and it was above the wood siding on the house, which is not good because the wood was rotting. And so this is a very, very steep slope. So we excavated the soil that was here so that we could make a path. There was not a path here before. And then we built the wall. And once we had the wall built, then it was very easy, in my opinion, to just load up on dwarf conifers. And the design was, let's just use up all of my favorite dwarf conifers and let's just space them apart. And so it wasn't a design that was on paper. It basically was, I had the plants because I liked them, and then I just put them on the hillside to create this garden that looks good in the winter as well as in the summertime.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, that was definitely, you guys were curious about that last time, how they design this whole space. And really, you worked with the land and not against
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It's so steep, it's very difficult to do any type of gardening here. So the dwarf conifers is perfect because they require no maintenance. I don't have to prune them. I don't have to get down. You know, they fill in the space so there's no weeds that really grow here. And so it's really a nice solution to the hillside.
Oh, that is a really smart take. I'm going to remember that forever. Things that don't need maintenance and hard to reach places. Put that on your notes for today's video. This space hasn't changed much in terms of adding new plants, right?
No.
Okay.
This is basically the same as what we did in the first video.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, things have grown. The flower bed has different things in it, but I think when you were here, I had just ripped out everything. And
yeah. You know, I guess what I appreciate about his garden too, he's not afraid to lean in on fun things like zinnias, verbena. Like these are not super, you know, rare things, but they work really well in that space.
Yeah, yeah.
The patio is one of my favorite places. We're actually getting ready for dinner. It's so fun.
So one plant I do use a lot of, and some people probably question why, is coleus. It's not because coleus has a beautiful flower, but the foliage just is very dramatic and brings a lot of color to the garden. So you see it here on the corner, and as you pass the corner, you see it scattered throughout the garden. So it's repeated, so you have that same look. And I guess that's a design element to repeat that color and that.
Right. Do you know the variety?
Yes, this is Inferno.
Inferno. Okay, so I bought coleus because of Gene, because I was never really interested in it, and then I saw this, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what an impact does that have?
It really does.
Yes, and can I just call out something really quick, Gene?
Sure.
This is his Amber Ghost Japanese maple. You guys know we have one in our garden, and it's in a container, so you can see the difference. One that's in the ground, look at the coloration that it takes on. So it still has a little bit of that like burgundy variegation. However, it's green, where ours maintains its color because it's under stress in a container.
I'm wondering if it's not just stress, but maybe the pH factor in the soil for that.
Right.
This is pretty acid soil when you plant in the ground, and it's possible the pH in your soil is different than here, and so it maintains a different color.
Interesting. We should test it.
It's a guess.
Yeah. Huh. Maybe I'll take some sample and have it tested.
Yeah, or there's even pH meters.
Yeah. I think we have one. Okay. So that was one of the trees I wanted to share with you guys. This red bud, it's so cool. It's so different from any of the red buds that I've seen. The leaves are so thick. Yeah. Which variety is this one again?
This is Little Woody. And
Woody. Okay.
Most red buds have a very thin leaf, and it's usually a yellowish green. This has a really dark green color. The foliage is very, very sturdy, and I really think it's a beautiful redbud tree. It is an eastern redbud, not a western redbud. Another tree from Monrovia.
Oh, okay.
They carry this one, but really a very nice looking plant.
Yeah, and this is a new addition that we're about to walk on.
Yeah, so this used to just be kind of a path with mulch on it, and we decided to make it a hard path because it's used so much.
Yeah.
So
it's wonderful. I think this was such a great addition.
So this is a Eclipses is the Latin term, but it's also called a butterfly weed because Eclipses are what most butterfly lays their eggs on. So for example, the monarch butterfly lays their eggs on a milkweed. It's a type of milkweed. And so that's why it's called a butterfly weed for that reason. But you know why I have it.
Because it's orange.
It's orange.
And that's your favorite color.
And it's fabulous. And I want to help the butterflies. I mean, I don't know if you notice all the bees that are on here, but there's a lot of bees that are frequenting it. And it's a good pollinator plant. Even though this particular plant is not native to Oregon, it's a great plant for the pollinators.
Yeah.
And really is impactful. This orange color is really an intense orange. It's really, really
And you like you don't
Oh my.
want that subdue.
I do not want pastels. I know that's your thing. You love pastels, and I applaud you.
uh-huh.
We all have different likes, but I like that deep, rich color.
Right. And I'm leaning into it because I am seeing what an impact, like what a punch of color
Yeah.
that is. But look at how pretty those sweet little flowers are. I think these would be a great addition to so many gardens.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Very easy to grow. It comes back every year with a flourish. It does die back to the ground
Mm-hmm.
in the winter, so you don't have, it's not an evergreen type of plant, but
Okay.
really just a beautiful one in the garden. I love grasses. I have about 30 different kinds of grasses, and there's a brand new grass that is very difficult to find. I really struggled to find some this spring. I
Mm-hmm.
had to order it from somebody on the East Coast because nobody on the West Coast had it. But it's called Ha Ha Tonka, and it's a little blue stem grass. And it was found in Michigan when um, some gardeners, Pete Oldoff, was creating a new garden in Chicago. And he found this grass, and it's very unusual. And you'll notice I put a watering can next to the grass,
Yes.
and there's a reason for it. This grass, Ha Ha Tonka, has little tiny hairs all along the leaf. And so I'm going to have you, because I'm not supposed to bend down and
Yes.
just sprinkle some water on this
Okay.
grass.
We're gonna do a demo. Hold on. You be the cameraman.
Okay.
Oh
Crazy.
my
Just go
gosh.
crazy.
Look at how cool that is.
Okay. And so with these little hair, that's enough.
Okay.
I know it's hard to stop you.
We're best
But,
friends.
but look at the grass, how it holds the moisture with these little tiny beads. And really, they kind of shimmer in the light. And I don't know of any other grass that does this. This is a very unusual, um, somebody's going to correct me, I'm sure, but really an interesting look for the
Yeah.
grass. And I'm in love with this new grass called Ha Ha Tonka.
Ha ha Tonka.
Yeah.
Well, you know people are gonna want this.
Well, I'm telling you, it's hard to get.
Okay.
And I think if enough people ask for it, then eventually it'll come to play. What do you think?
Oh, I love it. I love when, well, first of all, I do like the morning dew and
Okay,
like when we have it in
right.
like cooler days.
Sure.
So I think plants always look their best at that time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's glistening.
Oh, yeah.
It just glistens. That's the
No,
best word I could
it's
use.
so cool.
It's very cool. And you like when plants do cool things like
Well,
that.
I do like, yeah.
Yeah. It has to be interesting. It has to be cool. It has to have a story,
Yeah.
or they don't come into Gene's garden.
Exactly. I think the garden probably looks different than when you were here last from
Mhm.
this vantage point.
Yes, look at
Just
this.
because things are blooming well. You were here in September, I think, the first time you came. And so some of the things they were done blooming.
Hmm.
But you can see the exuberance of the garden in the summertime.
Yes, absolutely. And even just a couple of weeks apart, the garden changes so much. And one of the things that we've recently kind of discovered and really fallen in love with is the Dutch wave garden,
Oh, right.
which is inspired by you. And you were inspired by
Pete
Pete.
Oldoff.
That's right.
Yeah.
So real quick, the whole property, can you tell us again, this whole property you guys acquired later on, just a
Yes,
few years ago?
we acquired this property 4 years ago, but um, it was filled with poison ivy or poison oak and hawthorn trees and
Mm,
fruit trees that had lived past their lifespan and that were failing. And so there was a lot of cleanup. It took
mhm,
a couple of years to clean the property up. And
mhm.
then 2 years ago, we began planting it. And so this is a fairly new garden compared to the other garden, which is 14 years old.
Right. And so this is very much a Dutch wave style
Yes,
garden.
correct.
And the whole, so how much property is the whole garden? Because people believe that this is
No,
acres and
no,
acres.
no, we have a very small garden. So the garden, the original property is 1/3 acre, but of course there's a big house on it. So
Mhm.
you don't have a full third acre. But with this extra lot, this is a third of an acre also, but
Okay.
there's no house on it. So
Mm,
you really get to garden a full third acre. So
okay.
the two lots together are 2/3 of an acre.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. That was a big question because people did not believe us.
well, somebody asked me how many acres we had, and I thought, well, less than one.
Yeah, it really doesn't feel that way. The other thing is that you allow your neighbors to walk through the garden.
Yeah.
The neighbors they kind of marry into his garden a little bit. And I admire that so much. That is just not something a lot of people would be willing to do.
Well,
And
the neighborhood has no fences.
right.
So kids and adults, I mean, everybody just kind of walks wherever they want,
Yeah. And
basically.
everybody's respectful of your
Oh, yeah.
space.
No,
Yeah.
I loved seeing activity in the garden.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You're so kind because I'm so like, what are you doing?
Well, it's so funny that you say that because we'll have people for dinner on the deck,
Uh-huh.
and some people will go, there's somebody walking through your garden, and they're like all concerned, and they're like, I said, it's fine, it's just one of the neighbors.
Yeah.
And they just can't even believe it because, of course, they've got a fence in their backyard, and
Right.
nobody can get in their yard. And
Yeah. Do you have a strategy that you use when you're designing your garden and the colors that you're going to combine with?
yeah, so you already know orange is my favorite color. So
Mhm.
I love orange, but there aren't very many plants that are orange, to be honest,
Right.
especially in the perennial world.
Mhm.
And so yellow seems to be the most common, and then there's a lot of blues actually.
Mhm.
And so you will find a lot of purple or blue and yellow in the garden.
Okay.
One of my favorite plants is here, and it is orange. This is Leonosis. Go through the sea holly there. This is Leonosis. And what a fabulous plant.
Mm.
It's so Dr. Seuss. So what happens is this is how it starts. It has these little balls that form, and then petals start to come out the top. Let's see if there's a new one
Interesting.
where it just comes out. Here, you can kind of see it. It just comes out the top, and it works its way
Mm.
down the ball.
Oh,
And so
wow.
these petals just continue to move. And I mean, how interesting is this plant?
Oh, it's fabulous. It's so cool, even when it's not flowering, because this must be its second flush.
It is, and
Okay.
there are more that are coming on board. So
Mhm.
there's always some that are in flower. Typically, after the ball is done flowering, like on this one, I'll cut it back, and then it'll regrow up.
Oh, okay.
So I do kind of manicure this one a little bit because I want as many blooms as possible.
Mhm.
I don't want it to put its energy to seed production.
Sure. Oh, okay. So you like to keep it, yeah, you like to keep it going. Again, I love the color combination, like the blues and the oranges and that bright yellow from the
Well,
Rudbeckia.
of course, purple and orange to me is a perfect combination, but
Right.
also purple and yellow
Mm.
is a good combination. And so often I will put plants together that belong together.
Mhm.
Like rarely will I put a purple plant next to a purple plant.
Got it.
I
Okay.
mean, you've got some purple here, but there's orange, and
Mhm.
then there's yellow. So there's always a different color that's next to each other.
Okay.
Angelica are just beginning to bloom.
Mhm.
And I know this is one of your favorite flowers, but
Mhm.
you can see how many blooms are about to pop.
Yeah.
And you can also see all the bees look at all the bees on this one flower.
Well, your garden is actually buzzing with bees. And while we're on that topic, Jean, that was one of the questions that had come in that it kind of stuck with you quite a bit,
I was
actually.
offended by
Yeah,
it.
somebody had mentioned that there's not enough natives in this garden.
Right,
Like, what do you do for the pollinators?
right.
And I don't know if the camera's gonna pick this up, but there is so much movement in this garden with different diverse selections of pollinators. The hummingbirds, right when we
Yeah,
came in, there were hummingbirds
yeah,
all
yeah.
in that area. So you don't
So,
have to have natives.
well, here's my story about natives.
Yes.
I often take groups of people to European countries.
Mhm.
And one year I took the Maple Society to the Netherlands. And we went to a botanical garden in Rotterdam. And the director of the Arboretum gave us the tour. And he said something that I will never ever forget because it blew my mind.
Mhm.
Because everybody has the mantra plant natives, plant natives, plant natives. So he starts to tell us stop planting natives.
Oh, interesting.
What? What? Are you crazy? Did I just hear that correctly? Stop planting natives. And then he went on to explain He says, we are in the process of global warming. We in the Netherlands have the climate that France had 30 years ago. And
Mm,
so our climate has changed. And because of that, we need diversity of plants.
mhm,
We don't need to plant natives, we need diversity.
mm.
And I so agree with that concept.
Right.
And I thought he was, well, first I thought he was nuts when he said it, but then I thought, oh my gosh, you're brilliant.
Right. I agree. I agree. I think a lot of people are still on that bandwagon, which I understand.
Oh, I,
Um,
I don't fault anybody for planting
no,
natives.
no,
Don't get me
same.
wrong.
Yeah. But you can't just bluntly say you don't have natives, you're not contributing to the
Right,
environment or pollinators because
right,
that's just simply incredibly
right.
false.
No, I have butterflies, wasps, bees, all kinds of bees,
Oh, the
whether
yes.
it be mason bees or honey bees or bumblebees. I
Yeah.
mean, they all reside in the garden. And
Mhm.
I, because I plan my garden to be a year-round garden, something of interest all year long, the pollinators have food even in the winter.
Mhm.
So you were here in January one year,
Mhm.
and when you were here in January, we had some plants that were blooming, and there were pollinators
Yeah.
on the plants.
Yeah.
And so I applaud people who want to have a native garden, but I don't think that that's necessary in order to enhance the pollinator population.
Yes.
This is standing ovation, little blue stem,
Oh, it's
and
gorgeous.
it really, I think it's a great all year plant because in the winter, this looks good all winter long. It
Mhm.
lives up to its name, standing ovation, because all of the seed heads really stay standing straight up
Got it.
and really, really attractive.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous grass. Okay.
So I want to show you a new plant for me. It's not a new plant like the Haha Tonka, but this plant here, look at those big giant leaves and look at the massive plant. This is an Australian plant called kangaroo apple, common name, that's related to the tomatoes.
Wow.
And it is poisonous, but what interesting foliage. The plant has these purple lilac blooms, but they will turn into an orange fruit. And so
Gosh.
there I get my orange fix
Ah,
with it. But it's an Australian plant and really, I think, an interesting plant to add to the landscape.
it is. And I don't know if you guys are able to see this, but look at the little berries that it's already forming the
Oh,
fruit.
right, they'll turn orange.
That is gorgeous. This definitely reminds me of Angelica, but I like how it's more open.
Right.
And those dark stems, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
And this, I feel like, is a little homage to me because it's
It
so
is,
pink.
of course. So, uh, I've
Um,
never grown asters before, and a plant name is important to me. And if
mhm.
you give a good plant name, I'm a sucker to buy that plant. And so this cultivar name for this aster is Hot Pants. How can you not
He's like, did you
plant
name
it?
that, Claudia?
And has a very interesting way it opens up. Here you can see it kind of has a swirl,
Mhm.
and it is a pink color, which is not my thing. But what I really like about this plant, because it's new to me, is the long straight stems
Mm.
and the cut flower stays. We had one in the house for 3 weeks. It was really held up
Really?
well, and so I really think this is a great cut flower. But look how straight those
Oh,
stems are.
yeah, it's fabulous.
And here
Yeah,
you can see the whirly gig.
as it comes up.
Yeah, it kind
Yeah.
of has a really interesting way it opens up.
Mhm.
And
That's really neat.
this should all be green, but the rabbits ate everything here.
You're
And so
kidding.
the plants have been decimated
Oh,
multiple times.
the rabbits
So,
have been awful this season
oh my
for all
gosh.
of us. I
Yeah, yeah.
love the block of salvias. Is this cosmos I see you're
Yes.
trying right?
Right.
Okay.
So bunnies love
They
cosmos.
love the cosmos. Like this is a tease for them. They're like, "Oh, he planted us cosmos." Is that bright lights?
Yes,
Okay.
orange.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I knew it would be.
So,
Just a good guess.
um, let's see what I was going to show you.
Do you want to go make our way back through
Yeah,
there?
sure.
Okay. All right, we're gonna walk back. Gene has a few really, well, he has a lot of really cool plants, but there's one in here in particular that you have, it's just so cool. Like the story
Well,
behind it.
before we go
Oh,
there, though,
yes.
here, come down here, come
Oh
better.
my
So this is
goodness.
a knotweed called blackfield, and
Mm,
this looks its best in August and September. It's just starting to bloom, but when it gets its full size, this is really a stunning bed that holds up, uh, later in the season.
hmm you know what I think is so interesting that you do so well? I think a lot of our gardens look so tired right now
Oh,
because we have a lot of early blooming plants, but
right.
not later blooming
Oh,
plants.
yeah. No, really I want the garden to look good year round,
Right.
but especially in the fall, because I think the fall is just such a fabulous time.
Yeah.
And that's a really good one. And so is this tall rudbeckia that's taller
Mhm.
than you.
Yeah,
You
it
can
is.
see that it
Oh
just
my
started
goodness.
blooming in the back there, that
Wow.
yellow.
It's really
Um,
going for it.
oh my gosh, it's huge. I mean, it's
Holy,
got to be 8 feet
at
tall.
least. You guys, look at that. And he does have a little cut flower garden. So lilies, roses back here. But my goodness, look at that overachiever.
Look at this neon yellow.
Wow.
I mean, really intense
Holy.
neon yellow and just lacy and open and really, uh, I think, just a lovely addition to the fall garden.
Yeah,
And
that
it
is.
stays this way
What
for
is
a
this?
number of months.
Petrinia scobifolia. Scabiofolia?
Golden lace, it looks like
Golden lace is what it is, you
a,
guys.
a common name. But really, just look how airy and how
Mhm.
open and how tall it is, as tall as I am.
Right. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous plant. It kind of reminds me of like a dill almost, but a lot more,
Right.
I mean, it's a lot prettier.
It's more refined.
Yeah, for sure.
For some reason, this Joe Pye weed is not growing for me very well this year.
Hmm
But this has a nice dark foliage next to this lighter foliage.
hmm
And so texture is very important to me when I'm designing space in the garden. I want the textures to be very different, each block of plants that we have.
Okay.
And so you see this here is very spiny, then you have this dark one, and then you have this lighter colored foliage.
hmm
And so and then you have grasses. And so
hmm
the foliage is key to when I put things in the garden.
So another question about that then, the design. So, and I don't know if this is a Dutch wave concept. I'm still learning so much about it.
Yeah.
But so you have blocks of color and
Yeah.
specific plants, but you don't necessarily have to repeat those
Oh,
blocks.
no,
Okay.
no. I
Okay.
don't have enough space. I
Right.
mean, if I had a park, a real park, then maybe I could do that because Pete Oldoff will repeat it in a large garden,
Okay.
but we're talking acres.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I have a limited space and I want every plant that exists, basically.
Yeah, you do.
You're admiring that short uh, stem over there.
hmm
This is a tall blue stem.
Oh, oh,
And
wow. Okay.
you can see it has a very different look. This is just starting to flower,
hmm
but I like this dark black foliage
Right.
that's here.
It's a lot thicker too. Mm.
And then right next to it is a feathery yarrow. And so texture, you have grass, then you have this feathery, and then above that, the knotweed, which has big, bold leaves.
Right.
And so texture is actually how I started this garden. And the
Mm.
flowers were just a bonus.
Okay. So you weren't thinking about
I
like
wasn't thinking flowers. I
the
was thinking
flowers.
foliage. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
By the way, the beech hedge is grown so much from last year.
yeah.
This was
It's
really cool.
filling in nice.
It's really nice. It's just like a single hedge to kind of create a different garden room for the cut flower garden.
Yeah.
And remind me the name?
So this is a monumental. It's a sugar
Monumental.
maple.
Sugar maple.
Yeah,
Okay.
but very columnar.
Very, very. But look at what a cool
To the
structure.
extreme.
Yeah. Okay, wait, look. Still going. Still going. And there we go. It's such a unique tree, and you can see it from everywhere in the garden.
Yeah.
It's really
Oh, yeah.
cool.
I told you I like different grasses, and I don't think we've talked about this. This is
No.
not a grass that I'm in love with necessarily, but I love the name
Mm-hmm.
caterpillar grass
It is.
because the seed heads kind of look like a caterpillar.
Yep.
And so the novelty, like I said, you can sell me if you name the plant right.
Marketing strategy.
I'm a buyer.
Yeah.
So, but this is very interesting. These little caterpillar-like flowers that are on
It reminds me a lot of the
Blonde Ambition.
Blonde Ambition.
They're related.
They're really, okay, they are. I was just going to
Yeah.
ask you that.
Yeah.
I would love to get this in our garden actually for the planting strip.
Oh,
I think this would be a
great.
really cool
Yeah,
addition.
yeah. It's very short. This
Hmm.
is all the taller it gets.
Oh, wow. See, it's compact. What is
Right.
that, about 6, 8 inches
Yeah.
wide?
It's not a huge, like
20?
the other
Yeah.
big blue stem over there.
Yeah, you got to have space for
That's
that one.
bigger than I am.
Yeah.
But this one's very, very short. The
Plants.
blood thorn orange. But if the sun hits the thorns just right, it's like stained glass. The thorns are translucent and they just kind of glow this blood red color.
Right. And this is specifically for that feature,
Oh,
not
yeah.
necessarily the flowers. It
No.
does flower, a little white flower,
It does, but
you don't care
I'm all
about that.
about the novelty of I mean, how can you go wrong
Right.
with a plant called blood thorn rose, especially if you have kids?
Yeah.
They love that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see. Let me see it. Let me touch it.
Yeah, you don't want to touch it.
This is the most rare plant that I have.
Right.
And it's very, very rare.
Hmm.
It was thought to be extinct. No one knew that it was a real plant until 1994.
Wow.
And in 1994, a hiker in the Willami Forest in Australia came across this plant, and he was quite well versed in plants. He knew what most plants were, but he did not recognize this plant. And so he took some samples of this plant to the university, to the botanical garden or botanical division, and he said, "What is this plant?"
Hmm.
And they look at him and they go, we don't know. We've never seen it before. We have no clue. So this was a plant that was rediscovered in 1994. This is the Willami pine, even though it is not a pine, but it was found in the Willami National Forest in Australia, and that's why it was named Willami. And it would be related to the monkey puzzle tree.
Ah, okay.
And so these plants, even though this is not the same genus, it is related.
Okay.
Because this is the only plant in this genus that exists.
It's
But
fabulous.
super rare plant,
Mhm.
fetches a high dollar when it goes on sale.
And there's actually a really interesting plant right in front of it.
Oh my gosh.
This is really cool.
This plant is very, very unusual. So, you know, a chicken has a juvenile condition and then it has an adult condition. So when a baby chick is born, it has no feathers. So, but it develops that later on in life. And so there's a juvenile version of the animal and then an adult version of the animal. Well, in the plant world, that's super rare. But this plant, which is called a sawtooth lancewood, is from New Zealand, actually. And very, very unusual leaf to begin with. But this plant has juvenile foliage until it gets to be about 4 or 5 feet tall. And then it changes and gets adult foliage. And so the plant goes through a transformation as it ages. And they thought that there used to be a bird in New Zealand called the moa, M-O-A. And that bird was a bird that ate a lot of plants. And the thought is that this plant has this sawtooth leaf to stop the predator from eating it. And then once it gets to 4 or 5 feet tall, then it blossoms and becomes its own plant.
So it doesn't even look remotely like this in its adult stage.
Well, it'll look very different. When it's in the juvenile stage, it's just a stick.
Right.
And the leaves go in a downward fashion, but they have that sawtooth-like appearance on it. And it was thought the reason this plant has developed this way is to thwart predators from eating it.
Okay. That's such a cool story.
Wow, oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
mean, what other plant can you tell that story
Yeah,
about?
it's fascinating. I love how you've developed this whole space. These are also some irises that Gene planted. I got one similar to this, and he has
in
the
the
other one
back.
too. Oh, there it is.
The taller version.
And these are from New Zealand as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And they have a really pretty, delicate little white flower.
And then, of course, the billy buttons you commented on the last
Yes,
time.
love the little crispedias. I think they're so fabulous for the landscape. Now, this was another interesting part of the garden. You have such a gorgeous collection of Japanese maples.
Yes.
Is there a favorite in this group in here? I mean, surely we don't have enough time to go through all of them because there's just so many.
Well, I think this one is interesting
Hmm.
uh, for the name, if nothing else.
Yeah.
But it's called Blue Moon Japanese
Mm,
maple. Well, first of all, it's not blue. And what does that have to do with anything?
right.
But when this first leaves out in the spring, it's orange.
Mm,
And so the plant is orange in the spring, and then it develops this yellow green color in the summer, and it has a decent one in the fall.
hmm.
But for best fall color,
Hmm.
we happen to be where there's some really good ones. This is Cascadia, and this has the best fall foliage.
Okay.
You can see it has a very fine leaf to it. It's very different than the blue moon that we were just looking at. But really, the color cannot be beat in the fall. Well, for those of us who live in the Pacific Northwest,
Right.
I don't think this plant would be a good one for the Midwest because you have frosts that occur too early.
Ah,
And so you would lose out on the coloration of that.
okay.
Um, in the Midwest, you have to be very careful which Japanese maples you pick. This one was bred and developed by Isley Nursery
Hmm.
specifically for gardens in the Pacific Northwest.
Ah, okay.
And so this one performs very well. They
Right.
have another group called the Frost Collection that is better suited for people in the
In the
Midwest.
Midwest, right. One thing I wanted to call out is how you grouped your Japanese maples together. That's one of the things that we talked about doing in our garden because we like to do this whole dance where it's like a maple, a conifer, and you're like, why not group things
Yeah,
together?
I did make that comment to you once.
And that stuck with me because that's true. I didn't think about grouping
um,
maples together.
so
Just,
I am a plant collector.
mm-hmm.
And as a plant collector, I have a lot of different plants that are in that genus species. So, for example, with Japanese maples, I have 60 different Japanese maples. And so um, I like grouping them together if they each have a different look next to each other.
Ah, okay.
So I don't want to group the same type of plant next to each other. But you can see in this little grouping here, every plant has a distinct character and is different. And when people come to see the garden, I think they appreciate seeing the different forms of Japanese maples. And most
Right.
people are surprised at
Right.
how different they can be. I
Yeah.
mean, this maple right here has a very distinctive leaf that looks like a claw, for example,
Right.
and
Which one is this?
peeve starfish.
Oh, peep starfish, Japanese maple.
And this isn't my most beautiful Japanese maple, but just seeing the variety, because most people think there's two kinds of maples, a red one and a green one, right?
Hmm.
And people would be amazed at how many different kinds of Japanese
Oh
maples
yeah.
there are.
Just the colors, like
Oh,
yeah, and just the tones. Like
right,
it's not just green. Like
right,
you have your dark greens, your
right.
mid-tone
Well,
greens.
from here, you can see up here, there's some burgundy
Hmm.
Japanese maples that have a very fine leaf.
Hmm.
And there's another one over there with a bigger leaf.
Yeah,
They add a lot of color to the garden
they
uh,
do.
year round, but in
Right.
the spring is really when they shine the
A
most.
special. Yeah. This is a really unique one. Acer palmatum
Oh,
kodo.
yeah, yeah, you pronounce it.
Kodo nyoto.
Those Japanese words are
Noito?
not my friend.
Yeah, they're not my friend either. But it's a beautiful
So this is very
lacy.
unusual. You can see it has two different types of leaves. It has these older leaves and the younger leaves,
Hmm.
and just really a harp string. Japanese maple is what it's called commonly,
Hmm.
and so I can pronounce
Yep.
that. um, but really, it has these stringy uh, leaves. I mean, they really look like strings,
Right.
and so I can kind of see how the common name got started.
Yeah, it's just so interesting how the older leaves take on that bigger
Yeah.
size. It just adds a lot of dimension to the
Yeah.
tree, doesn't it?
But here, for example, here's a miniature Japanese maple. You can see the
Hmm.
size is very small compared to the rest of them, and the leaves are very congested. But I like these small ones that don't get out of hand. And if you've got a small garden where you don't have much space, this is the type of thing you should be planting, not one that gets 15 to 20 feet tall. This
Right.
one will get maybe 6 feet tall.
Okay.
And so what more do you need?
Exactly. I love all of them.
So that has an orange tag on it because that tree was created in the Netherlands. I like to highlight where plants come from. And so if you ever see an orange tag in the garden, it means it comes from the Netherlands.
And that was kind of one of the themes for you this year.
Yes, there were 2 countries I was highlighting this year. And one was the Netherlands and one is Denmark.
Ah, that's
And
right.
so we need to talk about Denmark.
Yes, we do. We
But
will be asking you guys a question about Denmark, so stay tuned about that.
so, for example, this grass was developed in Denmark. It has a variegated leaf. So if you look at the leaf, you can see it has a white stripe and a green stripe. It was developed in Denmark, and this particular nursery is called the Overdam Nursery, and that's the name of this cultivar. And they've developed 8 different types of grasses that can be used in the landscape. I think it's interesting to know where plants come from.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody knows this, but Claudia was born in Brazil.
Yes, I was.
So there's 2 plants I really want to show you.
Yes, please lead
because I
us.
planted them in honor of Claudia. I have some South American sea hollies here. And these grow in Argentina and Brazil.
Wow.
And very, very different look than the European sea hollies. So they're related, but of course you can see how different they are. And they're just getting ready to flower. They haven't flowered yet, but they will have this purple flower, unlike the other one that had a blue color. But really pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah, it is. And actually, this does remind me of Brazil.
Okay.
Just it looks very tropical to me.
But
yeah.
it's very winter hardy here.
Right.
I mean, you know, this is a plant that will come back year after year.
Fabulous.
So before we get to the other plant from Brazil, here's a new area to our garden.
Yes, I love this patio.
We just put in a new patio for seating.
I love it.
Really, people like sitting here.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make a comment. You know, people are always worried about what they put on the tabletop or whatever. But this is a very simple, small dish, and it just has mondo grass in it.
Oh, it's really
And what more do you need?
Right. I mean, and it's all year round interest.
Yes.
Easy, low maintenance.
Right.
Water once in a while.
Right. But from here, if you have a seat.
Oh, yes.
You'll see really.
Oh my gosh.
There's a lot that you can see in the garden. Oh, isn't the coleus fabulous?
Oh, it's
Aren't you in love with coleus now?
Yes, because of you. Holy cow, that's stunning.
Yeah.
And just a big block of them that way.
Right. It makes your eyes stop.
It does.
And pay attention.
Yeah. And I also wanted to show them real quick this large bowl, because this was a behemoth to install because it's like solid metal.
Yes.
But look at how pretty that is. Again, in a cooler spot, low maintenance, grasses, a few potato vines, a wire vine. I think it looks stunning. Yeah. It really is just like,
well, and the color
elegant
theme for the pots this year seems to be burgundy.
Yeah, and I like it. Oh. Okay, I know you have your reservations.
Yeah, I do.
But I like it.
Yeah. This is a Brazilian sage, and really very elegant, very soft, has a lot of fuzz on it.
Just
really.
Like me. I'm kidding.
Very unusual for salvias because I have a lot of salvias that are blues and purples, but this one is a red. And really, I'm very excited about the plant. Nice, big, bold foliage, very drought tolerant. I give it 0 water. Wow. And seems to be growing just fine.
It's very special. And I can't describe the color because it's not, it's like a two-tone. It's like burgundy and also like a bright coral. Yeah. I don't know how you describe that color. Yeah. It's really, really gorgeous. Just like...
And the only reason I bought that plant was because Claudia's from Brazil.
I love that so much. When you showed that to me the first time, I was like, well, I just love you even more. I didn't think that was possible, but here you are buying plants and thinking of me. I'm honored. Okay. So this is the other path that they installed. This wasn't here last year. If you guys recall, when we walked through the garden, it just went straight through this little alley over here. But now there's a connecting path that comes from the top all the way down to this new patio space.
So I want to show you another interesting fern that we've planted this year.
Hmm.
It's not a new fern. It's been on, it's been around for a long time, but for me, it's new.
Hmm.
And this is a dragon's tongue fern. And
Oh,
it has a very distinctive growth pattern to the leaf that is different than most other ferns, like the sword ferns behind it. And I will be very interested when this starts to fill.
his peanut butter tree is always a standout to me. It smells like peanut butter. I think
Well,
last time we saw it, it was flowering.
in 2 weeks, it hasn't started to flower yet, but the
Great.
flowers will open up and the air around the peanut butter tree will smell like jasmine.
Yeah,
I mean, just really amazing scent.
yeah.
And uh, it's really delightful. I wish it was blooming for you.
It's actually really pretty just like this. I like it at this
Well,
stage.
wait till it opens up.
Yeah.
And this is a Japanese snowbell.
The snowbell. Okay. So we were looking at a couple of
Oh,
snowbells. We really want to
most of
get
them are
some.
green like this one
Yeah.
here.
I
They
haven't
look
seen
like
this
this,
one.
but that is a darker version.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
we had so much mondo grass. We, put the mondo grass in down here. So
Yeah, there's mondo grass everywhere, but I really do love what they do to the space.
well, it's going to look like a lawn when it fills in together
Right. Yeah.
that I don't have to mow.
Right.
So,
Lovely. And those you prune to look like that.
well, one of them.
Okay.
There's 3 bald cypress here.
Hmm.
And this one, we should go up on the deck to look at it
Okay.
because this one, I take all the branches off in the spring.
Yeah.
And then it's this totem pole with fuzz on it.
Yeah.
This one is natural. This one is natural.
Okay.
In fact, let's just go up there and take
Okay.
a quick look.
Let's do it.
So
Okay.
here you can see what it looks like from up here. And everybody who comes to visit says, oh, I want to know what that tree is, but it's man-made.
Right. And so I love that you're doing that, though. You know why? Because I just talked about this. If you are a good arborist yourself or you hire somebody, you can take a tree and manipulate it to look completely different.
Yeah, for sure. You can see that looks different than here.
So the patio is not a place that we really showed you guys, but you can see they have a lovely deck. A lot of these, is this Corten steel containers?
Yes.
Everywhere. So you guys really designed this space to kind of match the architecture of the house. Was that important?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like you wouldn't put an English garden next to a house like this.
No.
Well, an English garden was not a good example because he does not love an English garden.
Well, it's not an English garden kind of house.
It's not.
It's a contemporary Northwest house.
Yes.
And that's why conifers and Japanese maples blend in well with it.
Right.
Because those are plants that grow well in the Pacific Northwest. So the house has a Pacific Northwest feel. And then, of course, so do the plant.
One quick call out. Look at his Shishigashira lion's head maple. Look at how tall that one is. Ours, we keep it really short because it's by the house. But you can see how tall it can get.
And the biggest advantage for this plant is it's the last deciduous plant to turn color in the fall. And so at Thanksgiving, when we're driving up the driveway, this still has color and leaves on the plant.
Right. Does yours turn like a burnt orange?
Yeah.
Okay, ours too.
Yeah, this is new.
Uh-huh.
Because that was so shaded, the lawn area, we took up the lawn and put in a bunch of ferns. So this will become a fern corner. And really, I've just grown to love ferns so much.
Yeah, I could
because
tell.
they really fill in a space nicely. And it's elegant and it calms your mind. When you look at a grouping of ferns, you're not jarred, you're calmed.
Yeah.
And so it's really a nice addition. But
Interesting.
one of the things here, since you always want to know what's your design thought, here you can see most of the plants are all green. And so I did want there to be a spot of color. And so this gold strike juniper adds that bit of color to the landscape, and your eye is drawn toward it. Well, most people are drawn toward this rock wall first,
Right.
and then to the yellow juniper.
Right.
But very easy plant. takes very little water, very low maintenance. That's a miniature spruce. That's 15 years old.
Wow.
That's all the bigger it is.
Look at you guys. It's like maybe 12 inches across. And then this ginkgo.
That's a miniature ginkgo called Lila. That's about 9 or 10 years old.
9 or 10 years old. Look at how cute and petite she is. Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding.
It catches like my eye every single time I see this one.
Yeah, no, it's very demure.
Wow. It is very demure. This is why Sergey started collecting ginkgos, because of Gene. He inspired him. I showed you guys this in our winter video. He has these whipcord on standards, which I have never seen before. And when we actually went out to garden centers, a lot of garden centers started to carry them. And I got several messages from you guys about where to get these. So I do think are these Isley?
Yes.
As well?
Yep.
So shout out to Isley for getting these, but look at how he's planted them. They almost look like fireworks. So a grouping of them, and then also these
Mugo pines.
Mugo pines. And I think the design behind this is you want this to be clouds,
well,
like a cloud.
I want these to grow together.
Right.
So that it becomes a big, solid mass of green, but with all these stems, like a forest.
Right.
You know, it'll look like a miniature forest.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thought process behind here.
Right. So more cut flowers. If you haven't seen our first tour together, he has a beautiful cut flower garden. And then this is one of the standout spaces for Gene too, that a lot of you were curious about. I love it. It's all of the miniature and dwarf conifers in one space.
This garden is probably 9 years old and no maintenance because dwarfs you don't have to prune. Although some of the plants are growing together, and I do like separation between the plants, so I may at some point start to prune a few of them.
Do you have a favorite one in here? Or no, do you just love all of them together?
No, I would say I like some better than others. That's a hemlock, for example, a variegated hemlock, which is very pretty.
It's gorgeous.
The yellow one is called Tom Thumb. I like it just because it has a yellow color, but look at the blue on this blue spruce.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost hurts your eyes to look at it.
It's an icy blue color.
The blue is so intense.
Yeah.
That how can you not be drawn to that plant?
It's so stunning.
The other plants are just green, and so they're just different shapes or different growth habits. And so I probably am attracted to plants that have a coloration because conifers, and I have to give you a little scolding.
Oh, uh-oh.
I was watching your video, and you called them evergreens.
They're
instead
conifers.
Of conifers.
I don't mean
because not all conifers are evergreens. Some are
yes.
deciduous and lose their leaves.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to mention it.
I got schooled again. Okay, the first time I got schooled about pine cones, and he's like, well, that's not a pine cone.
It's a spruce cone.
It's a spruce cone because it was on a spruce. Okay, never again.
No, it's okay. People use that term often.
Interchangeably, but it's not correct.
Almost everybody calls them evergreens.
Yeah.
And because in colder climates, like in the Midwest, they are evergreen because they don't have very many deciduous conifers to choose from. But we have more because like the Dawn redwood that's over here, for example, is a deciduous conifer, but it would not grow probably in the Midwest.
Which one is that?
I'll show you in just a second.
Okay.
But to answer your question, evergreen assumes that conifers are green. So when they have different colors, it really makes it, I think, quite interesting.
Yeah.
And that hemlock is really, I think, stunning with those white tips on it. Just adds, a brightness. And hemlocks do well in the shade.
Okay.
But it will not have the same coloration in the shade that it does in the sun.
Okay. Okay.
Because in the sun, they get the best color.
Ah, okay. Oh, interesting.
But you could not grow that in South Carolina because it would burn in the sun.
Right.
So you would have to grow it in the shade.
So this gets morning sun then?
This gets sun all day long.
Sun all day.
But we live in Oregon.
Right. Yeah. We're really lucky.
We have the perfect
perfect, like not to brag, but we have the perfect climate. Another question that you guys asked was about, again, the architecture of the house. this is a connection between the house and then an office.
Yes.
So that's what this space is. A lot of you were curious about this.
Yeah. It's a walkway
Yeah.
to the space above the garage.
Yeah.
Basically.
So that's what that is.
But you can see these are not your dahlia colors necessarily, although I do have a pink one up there.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, I'll show you this burgundy one.
Oh, yeah.
now. Although you don't like cactus.
They used to be my favorite form, and then now I like a ball, but I'm coming around.
So look at the color in this.
Yeah, that's a really cool one.
This is the same thing. It's older.
Yeah. Do you know the variety? I'm going to see if I can find it.
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, it's a really...
But I know you like burgundy.
I do. I love
and then you
burgundy.
Like pink.
I do like pink. I like peachy tones. Orange is actually my favorite color. Orange and peach.
Oh.
Those are my favorite colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and white. You can always use a white flower.
You can. And I always say an arrangement could always use white because it breaks it up and it just brings like a brightness and a softness to an arrangement. Oh, your poppy heads are crazy. Wow.
What do you think?
Amazing. So Gene would not let anybody cut these poppies, and these are special because they're from Denmark.
So one of my themes to the garden this year are plants from Denmark or from the Netherlands. And so this poppy is called the Denmark flag because the flowers were red and white. And of course, it's not poppy season any longer. It's over, and I should cut these down. But because I'm taking a group of people, possibly with Claudia, to Denmark.
Yep, more to come. Just hang on.
That I've kept it here. But you're looking at the seed pods, and I'm sure you can tell they've been altered.
Right. This is not real. This is CGI. No, I'm kidding. But they've been painted to match the flag.
My son Riker painted them. Since since it wasn't flowering anymore, we did want a representation of Denmark.
I love that.
Since this poppy is called Denmark flag, it's red and white.
I love that. When I first saw it from up there, I was like, wait, am I seeing something? That's not natural.
This is the dawn redwood. So this is a deciduous plant. So it loses its leaves in the winter. The reason it's here, this is a dwarf called Miss Grace, is because you can see it has a weeping habit. So when it does lose its leaves in the winter time, the branch structure leaves such an interesting silhouette. And so there's from down below, this is a very interesting plant to look at in the winter
interesting.
time.
Okay.
Because I concentrate on winter interest.
Right, which there's a lot of it in your garden.
And this is a variegated ginkgo that's new to my garden. It's not a new ginkgo, but it's called Snow Cloud. And I think your husband, Sergey, got one of these.
He did. Yep, because of you.
Because the edges of the leaf are white.
Yeah.
And it really, a variegated ginkgo is just so interesting.
It is. And actually, as the sun is hitting it, Gene, I know you can't see it from down here, but it's stunning. The color coming through, it's just gorgeous.
Do you like mandavillas?
I do, actually. And that is
This is your color.
Yeah, it's really bright. Like, look at that bright pink. Do you know the variety?
It's coral something.
Oh, interesting. Is it a Monrovia?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I saw it in the beginning of the season.
By Monrovia.
No, he's plugging in Monrovia, not him being an influencer, you guys. So we can talk about this garden for hours and hours and hours, go all through all of the plants. If you guys have specific plant questions, let us know. I did want to highlight this new space that you just had put in this season. I know the boys were out here. Riker came in here like a champ, your son, and planted this up. I mean, it's gorgeous. So do you want to talk about this space?
Sure. So 2 reasons we put a new garden here, and luckily we put it in before my accident. But for some reason, we have a narrow driveway and people find it very difficult to stay on the driveway. But we wanted to solve the problem of cars running on the lawn. And so we put the rocks in, thinking that would be a nice, subtle, nicely designed way of stopping people from doing it. Plus, the lawn here wasn't doing the best because it's in a very shaded location. So we decided to put in a shade garden. So first thing we did in February was put these huge rocks in. And then we put the ferns in, and then we put the mondo grass in. And as the mondo grass grows together, it will look like a lawn, but no maintenance. We won't have to mow it. We won't have to do anything.
Right.
But it'll be a nice dark green. And then, of course, the ferns are fabulous here.
Right. And I will say it really gives this illusion of there being a water feature here. I don't
Oh,
know, it's because if it's tiered,
okay.
that's why. I'm not
Right.
sure.
In the
And
past, I've always taken care of everything. This year, I'm not able to do any gardening at all. So I've had to hire my son or their friends or whoever volunteers
right.
to help out in the garden. And so uh, it's a little frustrating, I will tell you, to work with
Hmm.
non-gardeners to do
Right.
work in my garden. I really have to give them step by step, but it's a little frustrating because I can't look down, and so I can't see exactly what they're doing, and I'm having to describe what they're
Right.
supposed to do. Riker's gotten very good at planting because I have a special way of planting, which we've never actually discussed. I bought that power planter that you are always demonstrating on your videos,
Hmm.
and it's been a great piece of equipment for us.
Yeah.
And what I do is I have Riker drill a hole as deep as he can dig it and then put in some potting soil. There's a soil amendment. Then, if it needs to be fertilized, he'll add fertilizer. And then he'll put a little more potting mix in, and then he'll plant the plant and fill the hole with potting soil. So, really, all of the plants have a really good base to start with.
Right.
You know, it's as if they're in a big giant pot in the nursery,
Hmm.
and then they slowly develop roots into the hard clay soil that we have.
Right. Which again is one of the strategies we have to use here.
Yeah.
When we have a hard pan, dense clay,
Right.
you have to amend it
Yeah.
with some soil when you plant things.
And what a difference it makes, because there's some places where I've amended the soil for, years, and now it's very easy, arable, and
right.
easy to dig in.
Yeah. Okay. A couple of inspiration questions as we wrap up this
Sure.
tour. If you're a new gardener and you want to start a maple collection or a conifer collection, where do you start? How do you begin that journey? Do you just buy what you like, or?
Well, you know me, I'm going to
Mhm.
have to plug the Maple Society.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Because I think you join an organization where you have a lot of experienced people,
Right.
and they can share their knowledge with you.
Mhm.
Not only what plants are probably the best to grow, but where to get them.
Right.
Because often that's a hard thing to do.
Mhm.
You mentioned you got a coral bark maple. Well, you can get those at Home Depot. So,
Cheeky.
there are better plants that have a better stem color in the winter.
Mhm.
And so you only can find that out. Well, you could research it, of course, because some people love to research things on the internet.
Mhm.
But really, it's invaluable to talk to somebody who's got experience.
Okay.
And I belong to a number of different plant organizations, and the Maple Society is one of them.
Mhm.
And really, I can't say enough about that. So if you're just starting, that's one thing to consider.
Mhm.
And the Maple Society is throughout the United States, so it's not like it's just based here in Portland.
Mhm.
But the other thing is, the internet, of course, is a great source of information. I know
Right.
you use it when
Oh
you're
yeah.
trying to decide what seeds to buy and
Yeah.
stuff. And so uh, the thing that I would highly recommend, though, is don't settle for typical or common
Mhm.
plants, because
Mhm.
they're not the most interesting.
Mhm.
They just happen to be the ones that are easy to produce for the uh, nursery who's producing plants for Home Depot.
Mhm.
They want a plant that's easy to propagate. And so I think it's more interesting to get an unusual plant
Mhm.
that maybe is difficult to propagate, but is worth the effort to have that special one.
Right. Find the extraordinary, not the
Yeah,
ordinary.
exactly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. One last question. This has been such a different year for you
Oh,
in terms of gardening. I know it's been,
it's
I,
killing me.
I know it is. It's traumatic. It's been like a different experience for you.
Yeah.
What has the garden taught you this year? Not being able to be in it the way that you
Well,
usually are.
the things that I'm benefiting from this year is past plantings,
Mm.
because the Dutch Wave Garden, for example, most of that was planted last year, although I revised some things early this year before I had my accident.
Mhm.
And so getting work done early on makes a difference. And
Mhm.
taking the time to plant things properly. I mean, when I show people the steps that I take to plant something, they go, that's crazy. You know, that's so much effort. It takes so much time. But look at the results.
Right.
And so I think what I can take out of it is the garden actually does well on its own. I don't have to do much with it. Japanese maples, conifers, they don't need my attention. The Dutch wave garden perennials, they basically take care of themselves. But I do miss that hands-on approach. I like weeding. I like doing a little pruning or doing whatever.
Yeah.
And not to do anything is difficult. But
yeah.
No, I think I can appreciate the garden this year.
Yeah.
Which I don't typically do.
All right. Well, when I first saw you after you had the accident, that was one of the things I said to you, like, there is a silver lining to this. We don't know what it is yet. But, you know, I know it's just been a different
I'm not
year.
sure it's silver, but maybe dirt colored.
Maybe dirt color.
Silver is a little too high of a goal.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. All right, we are coming to the end of the tour. I don't even know how long this video is going to be. I thought it was going to be short and cute, but we just get distracted. There's so many beautiful plants to see. Thank you so much for walking us through again.
It's so fun.
Yeah, we do need to come back in the spring and maybe just do like a quick walk around for fall so you can see the fall colors.
Sure.
It is magnificent, but spring, this garden is even more magical, which is hard to believe, but it really is. Anyways, one of the things that we did want to talk to you guys about quickly is Gene takes people on garden tours all over Europe. He is so organized and puts together the most beautiful garden tours. The difference between your garden tours and ones with like societies and other groups is you actually source private gardens for us to go visit.
Right.
So it's a very different experience, one that I prefer actually, because I don't want to see just national gardens and things like that. So anyways, we are thinking of hosting a garden tour together. It'll be Claudia and Gene. We're thinking next August. Gene and Claudia. Sergey. Gene and Claudia. He's really organized.
Well, how about Sergey?
And Sergey. Sergey will be the cameraman behind it all. But anyways, the trip would be to Denmark. And it would be next August. I'm going to link some details down in the description box. Really let me know if this is something you guys are interested in. If not Denmark, what other country would you be interested in? Because I do feel like this is something that we want to do together, maybe once a year moving forward. A lot of you have emailed me and asked if I would do a tour. And I just don't, like, I don't know if I could do that on my own, but with Gene, I would 100% do it.
So I ran the idea by Claudia of going to Denmark because that's a country that very few people have gone to see gardens. Everybody goes to Great Britain, everybody goes to the Netherlands, everybody goes to Portugal or Spain or France. But Denmark is very unique and very different. And the gardeners there are so enthusiastic. Denmark has the happiest people on the planet. I mean, all the ratings will always tell you Denmark is a happy, happy place.
Okay.
And the gardeners there exude happiness with their gardens. And I think it's really an interesting, unusual place to go to see some private gardens.
Okay. So you guys let me know in the comments if this is something you would want to sign up for. That way we can start gathering a head count of what that would look like.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be, I don't want to brag, but the two of us together, I mean, talk about a good time. It would be.
It's the three of us.
Sergey's
is
involved
part
too.
of the mix.
She forgets about me all the time.
I remember you.
Only when Gene is around. I just get so excited because we're like the same people. Anyways, thank you so much for doing this tour with us, opening up your garden again, going over plants. If you guys have specific plant questions, let us know in the comments. You will help answer those questions. Yeah. So anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today and walking through this beautiful garden again. I will see you guys in our next video. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.